Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our presentation. My name is Dmitry Davidov. I'm Bitrix24 Chief Marketing Officer, and I'm assisted today by Oksana.
Good morning.
She will be answering your questions about our new release and new features. Do not worry, we are recording this webinar. You will be able to view it later on if you have to leave at any point, and also we will make the recording publicly available in our YouTube channel, so you will be able to share it with your fellow co-workers. We are doing this live cast from our new beautiful headquarters. And because there are so many new Bitrix24 users who have never seen a release presentation before, let me briefly talk about what Bitrix24 is, the whole idea behind the platform, and why our slogan is Your Company United. So there are 5 large parts to Bitrix24, and they're all designed to play along with each other. So part number 1 is the communications module for internal communications, collaboration, working with your employees, your contractors, so on and so forth. We do have a mighty powerful task and project management module inside Bitrix24. We are probably most known for our CRM right now. After all, Bitrix24 is the most popular free CRM in the entire world by the number of users. We do have a contact center module, as well as website, landing page, and online store builder. Each and every one of those components have received new features and updates during the fall 2019 release. We are an international project available worldwide. We have clients in, I think, 187 countries and territories. You can go to any Bitrix24 site and you will see a live screen that shows active accounts in cities and towns near you. Another number that I'm very proud of and very important accomplishment for us, we have signed up over 6 million businesses, teams, and organizations since the launch in 2012. Bitrix24 is available in 18 different languages. The list of languages is available inside your Bitrix24 account. If you scroll down to the very bottom, you will see a flag sign that allows you to switch Bitrix24 into your local language. And we pretty much cover every major language in the entire world except for the RTL languages like Arabic. Those are a little bit tricky because you have to switch the menu, mirror it, but we're working on these languages as well. We do have to thank our clients and our partners worldwide. They are a very critical component to our international success. And if you guys are watching this presentation, and I know that many of our partners are, I would like to personally thank you for all the great work that you do for our clients worldwide. All right, moving on to data centers. We have 16 different data centers in 9 different countries. For each data center, we have 2 independent data centers that contain the identical copies of your data. For the past 3 release presentations, I was talking about GDPR compliance. Of course, Bitrix24 is 100% GDPR compliant. We also have 2 data centers in the European Union, one in Ireland and one in Frankfurt, Germany. But most importantly, Bitrix24 is available both in cloud and on-premise. This means that you can take Bitrix24 instance, your cloud instance, for example, and migrate to your own server. You can host Bitrix24 in any country of the world. Also, I would very much like to thank my colleagues from the tech support department. We now have 85 employees working for tech support who are responsible for processing over 50,000 help desk requests each and every month. The official language of our technical support is English, but when you're talking to our online consultants, they are able to support you in 8 different languages. So that's English, German, French, Portuguese, Spanish, and some others. Partners, Bitrix24 now has the second largest partner network after Microsoft, 14,000 partners who are selling and implementing Bitrix24 worldwide. If you are interested in becoming Bitrix24 partner, simply go to partners.bitrix24.com and you will be able to apply to become a partner. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you are a client who needs CRM implementation services or training services, our partners are able to offer you a lot of value-added services. For example, they can do training both on and off site. So they can train you in all parts of Bitrix24 via Skype, or they can actually physically visit your office and train you there if necessary. All right, so let's talk about new Bitrix24 release. If you are watching this if you're watching Bitrix24 release presentation for the second or the third time, you know that we're now giving each release a geographical location name. It just gives it a little bit of personality, and the name for this release is Bitrix24 Boston. Okay, release highlights. Lots of new features that we have added in your Bitrix24 accounts as a part of this release directly have to do with automation. So that's the main theme for this release, but we also have a very special surprise, a cool NASA technology that is now available to you inside your Bitrix24 accounts. I will be talking about that later on at the very end of the presentation. Let's start with CRM. And again, because there are so many new Bitrix24 users and so many viewers for our release, let me briefly go into Bitrix24 CRM idea, why it is so different as compared to other CRM systems. So we think that a modern CRM is much more than just customer database. There are 5 parts to a CRM system that we think are critical. Of course, as you know, Contact Center is available to you inside Bitrix24 CRM, and it serves a dual purpose. First, Contact Center is a great lead generation mechanism. You are now able to get lots and lots of new leads and prospects from social networks, from mobile messengers, from landing pages. But Contact Center is also critical to providing superb customer service. And having great customer service is very important for customer retention. Okay, the second component is classic CRM, which is a database of your customers. We do think that in 2019 and 2019, each and every CRM absolutely must come with marketing capabilities. And of course, you're able to run email marketing campaigns, text messaging campaigns, marketing campaigns in Facebook or Google AdWords directly from your Bitrix24 accounts. And we also have added CRM Analytics and Sales Intelligence modules this summer. I did do a webinar about sales intelligence about 2 weeks ago. I highly encourage anyone interested in those 2 parts of Bitrix24, visit our YouTube channel and watch my sales intelligence webinar. Okay, let's start with contact centers and features that are now available to you inside the contact center. Probably unsurprisingly, email and telephony do remain the primary communication channels for most businesses. And the data that you see on your screen, these are all of Bitrix24 accounts worldwide. But the third part of the pie, the one that has to do with chats, with messengers, with landing pages, with CRM forms, is the one that is growing the fastest. And we think that this is where the future of contact center is going to be. All right, so let's talk about Bitrix24 Telephony. It's very capable virtual PBX platform. We have done most of the work during the past few years, and I would highly encourage any telecom provider or any text messaging provider to do integration with Bitrix24. Our API is public, it is 100% free, and you can create an integration and place it in our marketplace or provide it privately to clients. This way you get access to some of the 6 million businesses that run on Bitrix24, and our customers are able to use local telephony and text messaging services. So it's a win-win situation. So what's new in telephony this year? we have added support for multiple phone numbers for call tracking. So we have released call tracking last year, and prior to this release, you were able to connect only a single phone number per channel. Now you can assign multiple phone numbers for each individual channels, like Facebook, for example, or Google AdWords. So that is very, very, important if you run multiple campaigns in AdWords, for example. Messengers. We're very happy that our integration with WeChat is now official. Depending on which metrics you go by, WeChat is number 1 or number 2 most popular messenger in the entire world, with over 1 billion customers. Of course, the primary user base for WeChat is in China, but lots and lots of Asian countries are also heavily reliant on WeChat. And Oksana here personally have done a lot of work providing this integration. We have talked a lot to our managers in WeChat. Finally, this integration is available to you. All you need to do, go into Contact Center, 100% free of charge, works like magic. Another popular question is, when are we going to get official integration with WhatsApp? And as you can guess, this has finally happened. Prior to this fall, you were able to use WhatsApp inside Bitrix24 using, I think we have 3 integrations available through our marketplace. I would like to thank folks at Twilio who have provided us with assistance, and we are now registered with Twilio and WhatsApp as official API providers. You can now connect your WhatsApp account with Bitrix24 using this application inside our contact center. You do have to have a WhatsApp for Business account approved already if you want to integrate with WhatsApp using this path. Okay, CRM Forms, another very important Bitrix24 tool as far as contact center and lead generation is concerned. Here are some numbers that you see on your screen that show how important it is to Bitrix24 clients. There are now over 100,000 active forms that are collecting leads, deals, and orders, and over 5 million CRM entities have been added to your guys' CRM thanks to this awesome tool. So before I go into talking about new Bitrix24 forms, let me talk about why we have decided to redesign website forms inside our CRM. So over 50% of all traffic now is mobile. So all forms have to be mobile friendly. They obviously have to be super fast because everything on mobile device have to be super fast. Many of you guys wanted us to add capabilities of adding multiple products and multiple items inside forms. So this is now available to you. And because of GDPR and many privacy laws that are popping up worldwide, I think California is implementing a new privacy law starting next January. Now many forms that collect personal data have to have several checkboxes available. One for privacy policy, one for agreement to receive promotional materials, one for data transfers to third parties. So these are your requirements that we have implemented in our new CRM Forms. So there are 2 parts to CRM Forms 2.0 inside Bitrix24. First, there is a form builder that allows you to design website form that you are going to be adding to your landing pages or websites or mobile landing pages or sending via SMS, for example. And then there is the form processor part that actually processes data that is entered into those forms. So this is what the new CRM form builder looks like. It's going to come with 20 forms already built for you for most popular use cases like contact us form, feedback form, order form, so on and so forth. Our designer is what you see is what you get. We do now support multiple agreements. You are able to insert the same form multiple times on our landing pages. You can now build multi-page forms because, if the form is very, very long with multiple fields, it's much easier to break it into parts and show one part at a time. It does increase conversion rate significantly. So this is what is now available to you inside Bitrix24. Here's a screenshot of a website form that has more than one agreement checkbox. For those techies that are viewing this presentation, the new forms are going to be run with Vue.js. So this is great for mobile access and for the way forms are displayed and loaded. Another very important update is the way Bitrix24 forms work with Facebook lead ads. These capabilities were available to you for the past, I think, 2 or 3 years, but prior to this release, you would first have to create a form inside Bitrix24 CRM Forms, and then you would have to connect that form to your Facebook lead ads. Now it works exactly the other way around. You can now create Facebook lead ad form, and it will be automatically connected to a form inside Bitrix24 CRM. Of course, our forms are fully integrated with Google Analytics if you are a commercial Bitrix24 user, and each and every step of form filling is being tracked inside Google Analytics. So we transfer information to Google when the form is being loaded, when the first field was filled, the second, third, so on and so forth, to when the submit button was clicked and the data was transferred. And of course, Sales Intelligence supports CRM filling as one of the goals inside the Sales Intelligence. So when you log into your Sales Intelligence module inside Bitrix24, you can not only see the number of leads or deals, you can also see how many forms were filled successfully. And the coolest thing about new Bitrix24 forms is that they are now personalized. There are lots and lots of use cases when it's best to send a personalized form. And by that, I mean that the form that we know is being sent to an individual user already has information stored in your CRM inserted in the appropriate fields. For example, name, email, phone number. If you know the person you are displaying this form for and you know their name, their email, their phone number, their address, it's just easier to automatically fill that information and not having to force your user type this in manually. So it works great for things like pre-order forms or for Net Promoter Score surveys. Here are some of the use cases where we think Bitrix24 personalized forms are going to be an excellent assistance. Also, personalized forms have proven to have much higher conversion rates. Of course, the personalization itself is a proven conversion booster, but also because the user who sees a personalized form has fewer and fewer forms to fill in, they're much more likely to go through the entire process. So here is a screen that sums up what is now available to you inside Bitrix24 Forms 2.0. Bitrix24 CRM. Let's talk about what's new in Bitrix24 CRM. Of course, it is one of the most capable CRMs on the market right now. And again, folks, the most popular free CRM in the entire world because there are so many features that come with it, most of which are available 100% free of charge. So the new cool feature that I'm very excited about, and many of you had early access to it during the summer, during beta testing, is sales tunnels. Let me explain you what it is and how it works. So you are no doubt familiar with the concept of sales funnel, and pipelines. So as soon as you start inside a new CRM, that's probably one of the first things that you have to do. You have to set up your pipeline or your sales funnel. But the thing is that in many businesses, there are many profit centers. And it's very, very advantageous to have different sales pipelines or different sales funnels connected and automated into a sales funnel. So let me give you an example so you understand what I'm talking about. Suppose you have a website studio. Your primary business is designing websites and landing pages. So you offer these services to your customers and they're happy when they get a website built by you. But you're also able to offer other services like contact marketing or maybe social media marketing or maybe pay-per-click consulting or lead generation services. And once the customer purchased your services for web design, you are also able to offer those other services. Bitrix24 sales funnel fully automates the entire process. So let's say you sold an item and now you sold equipment, for example, piece of equipment. You're now able to offer servicing for that piece of equipment to make more money. Or maybe you sold a cheap product, now you can try to upsell. You build different sales funnels, you connect them via automation into a sales funnel, and it automatically guides your customers through the entire path. Or maybe you have people who stop purchasing from you. This is a different sales funnel, reactivation sales funnel. You can automate that as well. So what's new in this Bitrix24 CRM? We have added a new way to merge duplicate records inside Bitrix24. As you know, our CRM has two modes, the classic CRM mode and the simple CRM mode. The simple CRM mode has no leads, everything starts with deals, and there are frequently situations when people accidentally create duplicate entries. For example, you have multiple salespeople working for you, and the single customer, they first contacted you via email, a deal was created, then the same person called your office phone number, another sales agent talked to that phone number, created another deal for the very same company or the very same deal, and now you have two different deals that are in fact one. So in Bitrix24, as you know, the duplicates can be merged, and we are introducing automatic deduping inside Bitrix24. So once a week, Bitrix24 CRM will look at your records and identify duplicate records, and then it will say, like, we have found what we think is 10 duplicate records. Would you like to merge them? So this saves you a lot of time because everything happens automatically. You do not have to manually look for those duplicate records. And also, very importantly, we use smart deduping technology, which means you actually tell our system which fields should be checked for duplicate records and which ones should not be. For example, let's say you have a name field like John. You may have many Johns, but those are not very likely to be duplicate records. Whereas a field like phone number, if you have deals with the same phone number, chances are these are duplicate records for deals or companies or contacts. So that is what's now available to you inside Bitrix24 CRM. Another cool addition is ability to share CRM profile settings. So prior to this release, either individual users or an account admin could create a CRM profile. You decide which fields have to be displayed for your leads or deals, which sections. Now it works a little bit differently. You can still do that if you want to, that's fine. You can customize it on an individual level, or your admin can force a certain CRM settings onto everyone. But there's a third option that is now available to you. You can share your CRM profile settings with another fellow coworker or with entire department. So that's very, very cool. Okay, let's talk about CRM implementation, because as the saying goes, the best CRM is the one that you're going to be using, because if you're not using your CRM, it's no good. And we do lots and lots of CRM implementation studies. We actually invite most local CRM users into our office, where our product developers, with permission, of course, go into CRM accounts of our clients and see how they're being used. And almost always we see that CRM is not being used to the fullest potential as it is possible. So we were thinking about what type of CRM implementations, assistance we could provide on a scale, because obviously we cannot invite everyone into our office. And here's what we came up with. It's a tool that is available inside CRM called CRM Tutor. So basically it's a step-by-step guide that says that, okay, if you want to implement CRM, you have to go through these 6 steps. Like I mentioned, usually the first step in CRM is, after data import, of course, if you have existing data, is setting up your sales funnel or deal pipeline stages. The cool thing is that we think we are going to provide access to this tool to our partners and maybe even customers. So we will create our tutor that is available to everyone, but each partner will be able to create a custom version of the tutor. So for example, we have partners who work with call centers, and CRM implementations for call centers is a little bit different. You will be able to create your own tutor, so each time you hire new salespeople, they will go through the same steps as everyone else. You will be able to save a lot of time in training. So that is new CRM tutor that is available to you inside Bitrix24 CRM. Let me take a gulp of water. And onto Bitrix24 Lab and new cool experimental projects that they're doing. Yes, we are introducing CRM presets for verticals and industries, and here's why it is very, very, very important. CRM use is very different depending on which industry you're in. For example, Bitrix24 is hugely popular among realtors. Real estate CRM is probably one of the most popular use cases for Bitrix24, but CRM for realtors is usually set up quite differently from anything else, because the central entity for realtors is an object, a house or a property that they're going to rent, for example. This is very different from, let's say, travel agents, or from construction industry, or from clinics. So here's what a preset does. You configure CRM the way it needs to be for your industry. You save it as a preset, and then this preset can be loaded from Bitrix24 Marketplace, or it can be shared with others. And the person who uses this preset has to do no setup. It is automatically deployed inside Bitrix24 as real estate CRM or as a dental clinic CRM. And of course, it's great for our partners who specialize in certain verticals, because right now they have to configure each individual CRM one by one. With the preset, all you have to do is upload the preset and everything is done automatically. Okay, CRM Analytics. Again, I encourage you to watch my webinar about CRM Analytics and Intelligence Report. What's new in CRM marketing? We have added new cool segments that you wanted us to add. So we have reworked our segmentation by purchase product. So now you can send a special offer to your customers who have ordered specific item or specific service that is listed in your product catalog. Another cool thing is that you can now create a segment by job title or position. We have a lot of clients who are HR or recruiting agencies. If you want to send an email out to all chief marketing officers or chief technical officers or all Java developers, now you can easily create that segment inside your Bitrix24 CRM. Also, you can connect multiple Google AdWords and Google Analytics accounts inside a single Bitrix24 account. This is very important to Bitrix24 customers and partners who work as agencies. And yes, the agency accounts are now supported inside Bitrix24 CRM marketing as well. Sales intelligence. We have just released this tool publicly by the end of the summer, and the number that you see on your screen, 13,600 accounts, those are not just Bitrix24 accounts connected to our sales intelligence modules. These are accounts that are actively spending money in Facebook and Google, and where you have fully configured two-way connection so that we import your ad spend and calculate ROI for each of your marketing campaigns. Again, I explain you how this is done in my sales intelligence webinar that you can watch after you're done with this presentation. I have talked about how call tracking now supports multiple phone numbers per single channel, but what's cool is we are now supporting multi-tracking for UTM tags. So here's what it means. Inside Bitrix24 Sales Intelligence module, now when a person becomes your lead or your customer, not only you know which Google AdWords campaign has brought that lead or customer in, or which Google AdWords group, you actually see the individual keyword that was entered by that person who became your lead or your client. So this is very, very cool for adjusting your advertising campaigns. This is very, very cool. And another great thing is that we now support multi-channel attribution. Here's why it's important. It would be great if a person sees your ad for the first time, clicks the ad and becomes your customer. But in reality, things work very, very differently. You advertise in Facebook, in AdWords, on YouTube, lots and lots of other places. The person can see your ad in Facebook, click it, visit your website, do nothing. Then maybe they're Googling something, they're visiting your website again, maybe they're entering your URL directly, then they see your ad in AdWords for the third time, they click it, and then they become the customer. With the multi-channel attribution, we track each touch that happens between you and your customer, and how much money was spent on advertising in each particular instance. Then we add all of those expenses, and this is the number that we have inside Bitrix24 CRM. So you have the true cost of customer acquisition when you use Bitrix24 Sales Intelligence with multi-channel attribution. So this is a new Bitrix24 CRM. It is the only CRM that comes with Sales Intelligence. Let me take a quick break. Oksana, what type of comments and questions are we getting? What are folks interested in?
Well, Dmitry, we are getting lots and lots of questions, and the most popular one is when these features are going to be available.
Of course, that is the most popular question. Folks, please stay to the very end of this presentation. As usual, the last slide is the timeline slide where we talk when each of the features that I talked about is going to be available to you. I think we're about halfway through the presentation. We still have quite a bit to go. And let me little fast forward and start with Bitrix24 sites and stores. Again, hugely popular tool. It didn't receive a lot of updates as a part of this release, but I think over 100,000 websites have already been created with Bitrix24 websites. As you know, we have added support for dynamic blocks. For example, you can have a special work group inside your Bitrix24 account that if you make any post there, it is automatically acts as a news feed on your website that is now available to you. But the thing that I want you to pay attention to is that we have added a special plan called Bitrix24 Start Plus that is specifically for folks who want to use Bitrix24 sites and landing page builder or our online store builder, but for whom our previous plans and the cost that they come with, $69 a month, was too much. This plan allows you to have up to 2 users, up to 10 websites, 10 gigabytes of storage, and you get access to all premium website and landing page builder features like Google Analytics integrations. You can insert your own HTML code or JavaScript, and you also get an extended CRM, an upgrade from a free CRM, only $19 a month. So that's very, very inexpensive. The plan is called Bitrix24 Start Plus. Okay, moving on to Sales Center. It is now publicly available to everyone. It is specially created for mobile-first companies and where most of your sales happen with audience who communicate with you via mobile devices. If you sell via social networks, via Instagram, via messengers, it's great because in Bitrix24 Sales Center you can sell anything via SMS or a text message or a mobile message. And prior to this release, we were only supporting PayPal as our payment method. Google Pay and Apple Pay are on its way to be added as payment methods for Bitrix24 Sales Center as well. Okay, let's talk about task and project management after I have a drink of water. New beautiful checklists were released to you, I think 2 weeks ago. Many of you have already had a chance to play around with it. There are 2 audiences inside Bitrix24 as far as task and project management is concerned. Some of you like using tasks and subtasks, but some of you prefer using tasks with checklists. So lots and lots of new features that we've added to our checklists is upon your request. For example, you wanted to be able to assign responsible or an observer to each individual points on your checklist. Yes, this feature is now available to you. You wanted to upload files and images to your checklist items. Again, this is available to you. And you wanted to have a very quick way to create and add checklist by simply, copying a list. And this is now very easily done inside your Bitrix24 accounts. In fact, this recording shows how easy it is to create a checklist inside Bitrix24 Task and Project Management module. Okay, moving on to, and by the way, nested checklists, yes, they are available to you as well. This is another cool feature that I'm very excited about. This is what many of you have been asking, ability to create a project template. Yes, you can now take any existing project and save it as a template, or you can create a project from an existing template. And the project template is very, very customizable. So it's not just a set of tasks and subtasks. You can also add individuals and their roles into a template. You can add a project drive with files. If you use the same type of files like contracts and agreements over and over again, they can be added to your project template, comments, and even automations. So this is very, very, very cool, and I'm very excited about that. We have added calendar view for our tasks as well. There are industries and roles where most of the work with tasks is done in a calendar view. The one obvious example that comes to mind immediately is editorial calendars. They are usually laid out on a calendar grid, so this option is available to you if you want to work with tasks in a calendar grid. And another cool thing is that our planner now supports the deadline view. And this is nothing more than arranging your tasks according to their deadline. So the closest deadline to the farthest deadline. And if you use deadline view and you move the tasks from one column to another, very conveniently, we will reassign the deadline for that task automatically. So that's very, very cool to be able at a single glance see which tasks are approaching their deadlines or which tasks are due today or this week or this month. As promised, we have released new mobile tasks, and this is it for the task and project management module. Okay, let's talk about Bitrix24 communications modules. It's probably the largest one, even larger than the CRM module. Lots and lots of cool tools are available to you inside the communications module. I want you to be aware of the fact that you are able to use Bitrix24 for work time tracking. You can use it as a punch clock, for example, to clock in and clock out. This is available to Bitrix24 professional users, but let's talk about new tools and features that are available to you. One of the things that we had to, I'm not sure if I should be using the word struggle, but it certainly was a problem for some of our larger cloud clients. I think the largest cloud client that we have is like 15 or 16,000 employees. The very first thing they had to do is invite new users. It's pretty easy if you have 5 people or 50 people, but what if you have 500 people? What if you have 5,000 people that you need to invite inside your Bitrix24 cloud account? And again, the reason why Bitrix24 is so popular with larger clients is because our professional plan comes with unlimited number of users. There is no limit how many people you can have in your Bitrix24 professional plan, and it's only $199. So the 4 options that were available to you prior to this release you see on your screen. Registration via link was probably the most popular one, but you could add users manually if you wanted to. Now we are introducing Microsoft Active Directory integration for cloud Bitrix24 accounts. I want to stress clouds because Active Directory integration for on-premise Bitrix24 was available to you via our partners for ages. Now you can connect any cloud Bitrix24 account in an appropriate plan with Microsoft Active Directory. And again, for those techies who are watching this presentation, you do not need to provide external access to your Microsoft Active Directory server. This is done via a special secure app. And once the integration is configured, there is a two-way sync that happens between Bitrix24 and your Active Directory server, which means that anytime a new user is added into Active Directory, they're automatically added into Bitrix24, and anytime a user is deactivated in your Active Directory, they're automatically deleted in Bitrix24 as well. Your Active Directory login and password acts as a single sign-on, so meaning you're logging into now your Bitrix24 with the same login as Microsoft Active Directory. This is extremely, extremely convenient. All right, let's talk about knowledge management inside Bitrix24 and knowledge bases in particular. Excuse me, there are type of questions that get asked over and over again in any organizations. For example, how I disarm office alarm system, or who can do that, or how I activate alert system. Is it on during weekends? Is it off during weekends? What are our passwords for Wi-Fi? What about payrolls and benefits, new employee onboarding or employee offboarding? So the same type of questions that get asked over and over again, they're added into knowledge bases because it's just so much more easier. And Bitrix24 Wiki that is available to you now inside your Bitrix24 accounts acted as a knowledge base, but let's face it, in 2019, Wiki no longer cuts it. So We'll listen to your requirements about what type of knowledge base you wanted inside Bitrix24, and we came up with an entirely new knowledge base concept that is going to be very, very similar to how Bitrix24 websites operate. In fact, we're going to share the engine between Bitrix24 websites and the knowledge base. And that means that it's very easy to create or edit knowledge base. It fully supports multimedia content like video files or audio files. It is going to be accessible from your computers and your mobile phones because, let's face it, most workforce has no access to computers, traditional computers, desktop computers, notebooks. You know, if you talk to anyone who's working in a store or anyone who is a driver or delivery person, they access all of the necessary information from a mobile device. Obviously, there needs to be access rights settings, and this is what's now going to be available to you inside Bitrix24. We are also going to be able to give you an ability to create a knowledge base for projects and for CRM as well. So in Bitrix24, you can create a company knowledge base, you can create a project knowledge base, you can create a sales knowledge base, and it's going to work very, very similar how our websites operates. And very, very important, those tools that I talked about a second ago, they're all going to be available to you inside your Bitrix24 accounts with access rights the way you configure it, but a lot of times you need to have an external knowledge base, usually for your customers. And in Bitrix24, you will be able to create a knowledge base that is accessible to external users, and we will host it like we do with our online stores and online sites and landing pages. It is going to be hosted with Bitrix24.wiki domain zone. And the best thing is that knowledge base is going to be available is going to be available on each and every Bitrix24 plan, including the free plan. We're going to give one company knowledge base to the free plan users, but we're not going to limit how many project knowledge bases you can have. Another cool new addition to Bitrix24 communications module is the new type of workflow automation. So first, I want to show you a video recording of how business processes operate currently. A lot of you have had a chance to play around with it. Frankly, it looks outdated and very, very intimidating. I think not very many people can say that with confidence that they can configure business process or automate workflow in Bitrix24 on their own without partner support. This is why we have decided to add robotic process automation capabilities inside Bitrix24, but we want to do it in a way that pretty much anyone in your company can create and work with. For example, even the process of reassigning responsible person in a workflow used to be very, very difficult. Now it's done very, very easily with one click. And we have decided on using Kanban interface for robotic process automation in Bitrix24. The reason for that is that this interface is A, very convenient, and B, you are already familiar with it because you're using it in tasks and projects in CRM. And in this video, we're showing you an example for a workflow for paying invoices that are due. Obviously, an invoice has to be uploaded, then the supervisor has to approve the payment, then the accountant department has to also look at the invoice and actually pay it, and then the status for the invoice changes to paid. And the way you saw things on your screen traveling through the Kanban board, this is how workflows and automated business processes are going to work in Bitrix24. Whoops, I was too fast. And again, we decided to provide RPA capabilities to each and every Bitrix24 plan, including the free one. We're just going to limit the number of processes that could be automated with our new RPA engine for each plan. And finally, I have promised you that we would have a space surprise in Bitrix24, and this is the final part of the presentation. It's quite easy to understand that personal productivity and productivity of each individual employee in your company is clearly connected to that employee health and wellness. And the cool thing about being healthy is that there are only very, very few factors that are outside our control. For example, like genetics. At least in 2016, we're not able to control our genetics, but everything else is under our control. But in order to improve something, you first need to learn how to measure it. So Bitrix24 comes with a new stress measuring tool. And the stress is a loaded term. You think that if stress is something that is automatically negative, but in fact that's not true. There are actually two types of stress. The good stress, it's called eustress. And you need to have a good level of eustress in order to feel productive and active. And there is bad stress that is called distress. And in fact, if you have lots and lots of bad stress, if you're totally overstressed, you can have extreme exhaustion and nervous breakdown that will lead you to the hospital. Obviously, you want to avoid that. So in order to control your stress level, and it's very, very critical in many job positions. For example, salespeople, they need to be able to control their stress level. You need to measure it first. So we're using the very same technology that has been designed for NASA for astronauts, I think about 30 years ago, heart rate variability measurements. Your pulse, your heart rate, it varies a little bit, and that variability is directly correlated to your stress. And now there is a very easy way to measure it and see how stressed you are. So we're integrating Bitrix24 with the world's leading provider of this technology company called Welltree. And when you do this, you will be able to measure your stress on a daily level. It's very, very informative to understand whether your current stress level is healthy or unhealthy. But more importantly, you can now understand your stress level company-wide or department-wide. You can now understand whether people are feeling overstressed because they're just not equipped to handle the pressure, or maybe this particular department or this particular supervisor does something that is stressing people beyond their healthy limits. So this is the new feature that is available to you, and we understand that because this falls under personal health data, there might be clients who want to deactivate this feature for their company. This is also available to you. You can ban people from measuring stress, but I think that is a very, very cool thing that you guys should be at least trying, because it's very, very, very healthy. And Bitrix24 is the only collaboration platform that allows you to measure your stress levels scientifically. So that was Bitrix24 presentation, the new Bitrix24. As I promised, we do have a timeline slide that explains when each and every of those features is going to be released. First, I'm going to pause this screen for right now, but if you're watching this webinar recorded, you can also hit the pause button and study to which plan each and every feature that I talked about is going to be added. And because we're doing continuous delivery, that means that we are releasing new features every single week. There are new features available to you that were not available last week. The good thing is that about 30% of the features that I talked about are already available to you inside your Bitrix24 accounts. If you don't have it, probably that's because you need to upgrade to a commercial plan that has them. And the rest of the features are going to be available to you over the winter, and by the next spring release, you should have each and every feature that I talked about, at least in beta. Bitrix24 Boston, thank you everyone who have joined us for the webinar. Oksana, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank our operator for assisting, and have a great day.